Hey everyone, Dan Tortora here of Wake Up Call, and I appreciate you being here with us. Of course, we are in the Travel Great Lakes Honda City studios in Great Lakes Honda City, 7140 Henry Clay Boulevard in Liverpool, New York. Open Monday through Saturday for sales and service. And of course, you can go to greatlakeshondacity.com right now to see all of their new and used vehicles. I am on location at what I call Dixie Landings. It's actually Disney's Port Orleans Riverside. They changed the name years ago, but my buddy Jay and I used to stay here all the time, and shout out to Michael as well, and to the Lynches and the Fays, and of course my family, the Tortoras. This became a home away from home, and it always will be to me. So this mill, this water mill that we see here, this is Dixie Landings, and it's like the perfect backdrop to doing the show today, because you know that everything I do here on Wake Up Call and with Dan Tortora Broadcast Media and my life in general, it has purpose and it has meaning. I don't just do it to do it. So I try to bring that love and that appreciation and that thankfulness to God, and I am so thankful to be here and to have this behind me as we do the show today. And the first thing I have to do is the annoying moment of the week, probably presented by Carvel, DeWitt. And what can I be annoyed about? I'm here in Florida in my second home. It's sunny, it's beautiful, and I'm in a childhood place that will always mean something to me, to this big kid. So my annoying moment of the week, I would have to say when I went to Epic Universe and I got there in the morning, it was like 11. I got there when the park opened, and then around 11:30, I went over to the Harry Potter side of things, to the Ministry of Magic. And the ride that they had over there, the only ride that they have for Harry Potter, and maybe they should have more than one ride so it's not so long, but you know that Harry Potter fans they will wait forever. I think Harry Potter fans, I wonder, is it deeper than Disney fans? Is it deeper? I don't know. Star Wars fans, Star Trek fans, Disney fans, how deep does it go? Marvel. But Harry Potter fans are so devout and dedicated, and I applaud it, and it's amazing. I don't applaud it when I'm in line waiting for a very long time, but no, all jokes aside, I guess my annoying moment of the week would be when I got there before noon. I asked the guy how long the wait would be, and I'm like, I think it said 5 hours, and he's like, yeah, it's more like 6.5. And so the park was open until 9, and if I had waited in line at that time 6.5 hours, I would have not done anything but Harry Potter until 5:30, and that's if the ride didn't break down. They didn't tell me there was a single rider thing, so I was in line for the Monsters ride, which is awesome in the Dark Universe, and really one of my favorites. You can check out more at Superpowered Pop. You can look us up on YouTube at Superpowered Pop. That's Powered. You can also go to Facebook, X, and Instagram at Superpowered Pop and check us out there. See my videos and get my thoughts on Epic Universe, as Superpowered Pop covered my experience of going in there. So there's a lot of great stuff that I got to talk about. So you definitely want to check that out. But yeah, they didn't tell me there was a single rider line. So when I was in the line for the Monsters ride, the guy in front of me was like, yeah, he's like, go to the single rider, man. He's like, it's so much better and it's so much faster. I ended up waiting 2.5 hours anyways. And, but I got in, and that was good. So I got to go on the ride. But yeah, I think I would the fact that it was 6.5 hours is that's insane to me. Anything over 3 hours is way too much. Honestly, anything that's over 2 hours, I think, is like pushing it. But, 6.5 hours for that ride. I didn't wait that long. It did break down a couple times, so I think, or one time, so 2.5 hours I ended up waiting. And it was worth it. But, I would say that that's the annoying moment of the week, because what ride is 6.5 hours and to wait for? And it was definitely worth it though. I thought it was great. But yeah, so I did like it, and I thought it was fun, but I would call it the annoying moment of the week because anything over 3 hours is ridiculous. And not telling me that there was a single rider line when I was clearly by myself. that guy could have been like, yeah, man, go all the way to the front and then go to the right. So, but definitely the spin to the positive is it was worth the wait that I did wait, and I suggest you go to it for sure. So yeah, that would be my annoying moment of the week, because 6.5 hours, you know what I mean? Like, that's half the day to a lot of people. So I would say that. And that's my annoying moment of the week, proudly presented by Carvel, DeWitt. Lead, learn, evolve, ad-lib, and deliver. What would I say for lead for today? And proudly presented by Chick-fil-A, Cicero. And I would say determine what you're willing to take and actually, establish your value. I would say that's huge. Establish your value. I said a long time ago, the day after my wife left the house, when I was married at the time, the day after she left, I went on the air and my mom was like, "Are you sure?" And I said, "Yeah." And she's like, "Why?" And I was like, "Because I'm not going to let this woman, she tried to take all this time from me. I'm not going to let her take what I love from me." And I got on the air and it just came out of my mouth. Establish value or value will not be established. And I haven't really lived up to that. The last person I dated, I did not establish my value, and I paid for that. So establish value or value will not be established is a huge thing. Like, know who you are and establish that value in work, establish that value in friendships, establish that value in family. Because let me tell you something, blood don't mean anything. It's how people treat you. I don't know why we have this mentality of like, well, they're family, you have to put up with it. You don't have to, you should not have to put up with, quote unquote, any garbage and just horrible behavior from people, family or not family. And nobody deserves that. And then when you're in romantic relationships, establish value. So establish value or value will not be established. What does that mean? Let people know what you'll accept and let them know who you are and put that value on. And when they don't value you that way, when they don't treat you with respect, when they're not good to you, when they don't honor you and appreciate your time and your effort and enthusiasm, that's an annoying moment of the week right now, that bird. But I would say, when people don't value you, be willing to walk away from relationships, romantically, business-wise, family, friends. Be willing to walk away from people that treat you as if you have no value or that your value is below theirs. It's as simple as that. And it's not a simple thing to do, it's a simple thing to say. But establish value or value will not be established. Establish what you're willing to accept and then don't accept less than that, and live by that. I didn't live by that, like I said, in my last relationship, and I paid for that heavily in my peace, in pain, suffering, just all around unhealthy behavior in life, because I knew my value, and then when I didn't get that, I didn't do anything about it. I just kind of let it be. And you have to establish your value. You have to establish what you're willing to take, what you're willing to accept, and what you want in your life. And when you don't get it, you don't just sit there. So many of us, we just settle. We talk about everything we want, and then we don't actually go after it. Or if somebody says that they're some way, but they're not, we just keep going. We call our family and our friends to complain about it. We talk about it to a priest. We talk about it to a therapist. But we don't go to that person and say, hey, you know what? If this doesn't stop, I'm out. And we need to be willing to do that. We have to be willing to leave relationships that are not healthy. That's really what I'm saying. Of any kind, of any magnitude, of any length of time. People say, well, I put so much time in. That doesn't matter. If people don't value you, why would you waste your God-given time on that? You're never going to get the time back. So be around people that appreciate you being around them and that treat you with love and respect. And if they don't, then be willing to walk away. And stop accepting bad behavior and making excuses for it. Top Dog of the Week, proudly presented by K-9 Kamp Dog Daycare, the only place I would bring Miss Lillian. Thanks to Lorraine, Chad, and the crew. In East Syracuse, go to k-9kamp.com. You can also call them at 315-437-7110. And you can visit them on 228 Old Bridge Street in East Syracuse, right off of Bridge Street, right on the other side of BJ's. You can actually see it from BJ's and see it from the highway, right off Erie Boulevard. My top dog of the week this week, man, all of our loved ones that have passed on that really are loved ones, that look after us and take care of us and are good to us, I want to shout them out. I talk about my loved ones that passed away in the present tense, and some people might think I'm weird for that, but if you believe in God, you know that the people that passed away that you love dearly are more alive now than they've ever been. And so to all of you in heaven, whether I know you or not, for those of you that are good to people, that established value, that gave value to people, that gave your time and your love, and didn't ask for things in return, that were so kind, that were so courteous, that were so just good and nice and faithful and positive and are who they say they are, and not saying you didn't make mistakes, but made up for your mistakes, got better at your life, did good things, and just treated people with goodness and respect and love and honor. I want to honor you today as our top dogs of the week, because you're in heaven and you're not gone. You're in a better place. We'll be there someday, God willing, and work hard to be there with our free will. And I just want to say thank you to my grandparents, to Shady, to Mordew and Cinnamon, to Sunny and Magic and Daredevil, to Rob Edson, and to Jay Hammerin, to Dustin Rhodes, to Fred Reed, to all the wonderful people that are up there. I want to say thank you, and I love you, and I miss you. And to all my great uncles and great aunts that have passed on, thank you for your love. Thank you for your support. Thank you for your just unwavering connection to us. I can feel you from heaven, and I love you dearly, and I hope God always lets that be. And I hope I get to see you someday after I'm 100 plus years old and I have all my faculties and I pass away in peace in my own bed. I hope and pray that for everyone. And I hope and pray that you establish that value so that value is established, and that you honor those people that appreciate and respect your value and give it back to you. So shout out to our top dogs that are never far away. This has been Wake Up Call on-site on location at Dixie Landings, aka Disney's Port Orleans Riverside. I love you all. I hope you have a beautiful, beautiful day, a beautiful life, whenever you're listening to this and wherever you're listening to this and watching this. And just live life to your fullest. Proud to be in my second home of Florida. I love my first home of New York. I love my second home of Florida. And I love all of you. God bless. No stress. Do your best. From the Great Lakes Honda City Travel Studios and from Port Orleans Riverside, and a place where James and I got to grow up. God bless y'all. Be safe. Take care. And be kind to each other and yourself. I don't know how to say goodbye, so I'll always say see you. I'll talk to you soon. God willing. Be well. Take care.